Wonderful to see you, sir. So this CPI figure really surprised a lot of economists, but not yourself. How did you know that prices were moving quite so quickly?
Largely because we think that the recent flood and also the drought in the last several months will have a very important impact on Chinese food prices. For example, in the past history, when China has adverse weather, food prices tend to be quite elevated. This is the reason why we think this very high CPI inflation is not surprising for us.
So how long is it going to continue? When are we going to see inflation peak?
We think that if the current food price were to continue rising by 15%, the likelihood peaking months for Chinese CPI inflation will be around August or September.
Okay, and what does that mean in terms of rate hikes and increases to reserve ratios in the coming months?
Indeed, going forward, the PBOC would have to face a rather serious negative real interest rate problem suffered by the majority Chinese depositors. If these conditions were to persist going forward, a lot of consumers would take their money out of the banking system and deposit them in non-banking financial institutions. Those non-banking financial institutions will not have a very high reserve requirement ratio. As a result, they have a very good competitive advantage compared with Chinese banking system. So if we see large, bank deposit flow out of the banking system, that will raise new risks for the Chinese banking system.
So is that the biggest risk at the moment?
In addition to that, we think that very large trade surpluses last month running as high as $22 billion suggests that the PBOC will have to sterilize such large capital inflows. If they pause monetary policy, this will be equivalent to an easing of monetary conditions in China, as those large trade surpluses and capital inflow will increase China's monetary aggregate. As a result, that the credit condition will become relaxed again. So against this conditions, we still think that the PBOC could raise interest rate by another 25 basis in Q3 this year. Whether they will use the reserve requirement ratio largely depends on whether Chinese trade surpluses will remain quite large in the coming months.
Okay, Liu Li-Gang, thank you very much from ANZ Banking Corporation there.